Welcome, my friends, to the Spirituality, Healing, and Vision Quest podcast, where we're going to take a deep dive into universal spiritual principles and ground them in modern day practices that you can apply to your life today. Hi, my name is Beth Berkins, and I want you to know that I am really committed to simplifying ancient wisdom practices. I've been studying them for over 40 years now and inside of them, and I want to give you easy to understand, proven and reliable keys that are going to unlock true sources of power and healing for you. You're going to walk away from this podcast with some practical tools to create that greater meaning and purpose, that larger purpose that your soul is calling you to. All right, so let's get going on the next episode. Thanks for joining me. Hello, my friend. Beth Berkins here. Hey, thanks for taking some time out of your wonderful day or evening to join me here on this podcast. Today I'm going to share another wonderful shaman's ancient wisdom key with you. But first, let me ask you a question. Do you ever wake up in the middle of the night feeling like, where is my life going? There's got to be more to life than this. Or I thought I'd be much farther along in life at this point. Or ever find yourself daydreaming when you're at work about what you would really rather be doing with your life, with your time, with your talent, with your abilities. Or maybe you've been feeling a deep longing inside. Let's just tune into that for a moment. Maybe you've really wanted to become a Reiki master and you've just put it off. You've had this kind of feeling, there's a book inside of me, I want to write from that place. Or maybe it's like, I want to finally start my own business. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to serve people how I want to serve people, by my own guidelines and my own values. If you've been feeling any of these things, I want you to know there is a name for this in shamanism. It's called soul callings. Your soul is calling to you. It's speaking to you. It's urging you to pay attention, to perhaps wake up, to, get on with it. And, soul is your vital essence. In shamanism, we say, it's our vitality. It's what animates us. And your soul, that core essence part of you, is reaching out and it's saying, hey, there's more to life. Let's really listen here. Listen carefully. Yesterday, I led a workshop on Zoom called You Are Meant for More. And women came from all over North America and parts of Western Europe. And they spoke about the callings that they were hearing. I invited them to, share with us. One of them said she wanted to write a book about grief recovery. She's a grief coach. And the other said, I want to share the light of love with sound healing. She's got gongs and crystal bowls and rattles and drums. She's actually a drum maker. And she wants to share that love with all of those healing shamanic tools. Another woman said she wanted to start a travel agency for seniors who are retired and who are wanting to do various kinds of trips, especially trips to sacred healing sites around the world. These are great callings, aren't they? Maybe one of these resonates with you. Another woman said she wants to bring art, she's an artist, into the elementary schools, the schools that have lost their arts funding. She wants to make sure that the kids are getting art. I can really relate to that one because I'm a poet teacher with California Poets in the Schools, and I bring poetry workshops to all the different grades, especially junior high and high school. But these women said, I know what the calling is. Yeah, I'm kind of clear about that, but I can't really live into this dream. I start on my way, and then I get derailed. I get stopped. And so we took time to mention some of the common stoppers in life, which we call paradigms. And one of the common ones is delay, to start something but then put it aside. Another is distraction. Another is we kind of talk ourselves out of it, thinking, I don't really know enough, or that imposter syndrome thing. The women said, I can't sustain this calling that I have, and I feel so passionate about the calling. And so somebody asked, she said, it's like I'm sitting in my car, and I know where I want to go, I know my destination, but I'm not moving. Or I move a little bit and then I've got the brakes on, or then the car dies. She said, how do I really find the key to the ignition and be able to put my foot on the accelerator and keep going? And I thought, that is such a brilliant question. Thank you to Pat for that question. And the great news is that there is an ancient shaman wisdom key that answers that very question, that gives you the ability to turn the key in the car and put your car into drive. So let me share that with you. This may surprise you. You don't have to know how you're going to do this. Just think of what the calling is for you. Maybe it's to be an energy healer. Maybe it's to study shamanism. Maybe it's to go on a vision quest. Maybe it's to launch your own business, for example. And you don't have to know how you're going to do all this. That's where we trip ourselves up. You just have to know what. Let's say you want to launch your own business, and the travel business for seniors who have retired from their years of professional life, and they want to see the world, but they especially want to go to sacred healing sites like Lourdes in France and take the waters, as it's called. So that's very concrete. You know what you want to do. Then the secret is you figure out, well, what would be a baby step? What's a baby step you could take if that was your calling? What's a baby step? And it's a baby step that you would love to do, not a should to do. Well, in order to, this is how the mind can work, right? Kind of trick us. I would love to do that, but before I do that, I'm going to have to get all my email lists together. I'm going to have to learn Facebook advertising and get a business Facebook page. And I'm also going to have to move from MailChimp to Constant Contact. The mind just puts all these roadblocks up. You got to do this first and this first. And these are forms of delay. It's like you have to have everything perfect. All of your ducks or geese or sparrows or hawks in a row, right? But I'm inviting you to think about, what direction do you want to move into? And taking an action step. And here's the great news about action steps, baby steps. They quell the doubt. Once you're involved in taking one, so let's imagine launching your business for seniors who want to travel to places of power around the world. They want to go to Mount Shasta, which people want to do with me. I'm leading a live Mount Shasta retreat the first weekend of August of this year. And people are calling and they're emailing and they're asking. And I'm talking to them about some of the sacred sites up there that we're going to go visit. Now imagine if I was just starting this business, what would be a baby step that I could take? Well, I could call the Mount Shasta Chamber of Commerce and get some information about what would be a really good weekend. In fact, I've already done this, right? About 2 months ago. What would be a really good weekend to have a small group of people up there? That would be an action step. Another action step would be I could make a poster. Another action step, simple, I could get on Facebook Live and just announce the weekend and what's involved in it. Another action step might be that I might want to work with my email list as a first step and make sure that, all the dead weight is out of there, for example. You choose a step that's doable, that you can do in the next day or two, because speed of implementation is really important. You don't let it drag on and on, you're less likely to do it then. So one of these, main shaman keys, ancient wisdom keys that we have discovered over thousands of years of launching something new is you decide what it is that you would really love to do, what your soul is calling you to do, and then you set up an action step for yourself in the next day or two. So my question to you, my friend, is what is your soul calling you to? What are you being called to? Or what are you being called to be? Maybe it's more about being. You want to be a better grandparent. You want to be a better mother. You want to be a better friend, a better partner. You want to, love yourself more, put yourself first. What would be a baby step for that? It might be to cancel a luncheon that you have set up that you don't really want to do and make that time for you. So what is a baby step? It's not a should. It's a, what would I love to do? It doesn't have to be perfect. That's another place where we can get derailed and kind of stop and start, and not really get forward momentum going. We think it has to be perfect. And perfection is a way to delay things, to postpone things. So I'm inviting you to think about, well, what is my next step? And I'm thinking of Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay, the first people to summit Mount Everest. And Sir Edmund had a lot to say about mindset and how he got himself to go up there the third time. The first 2 times they didn't summit. He went a third time with William Murray, a great climber from New Zealand. And when he came down later, he was talking about his experience, and he said this: it's not the mountain we must conquer, but ourselves. So what we're conquering is delay, distraction, dissuasion, perfectionism, all of those things that try to pull us aside. We want to be very clear, my calling is this, and here's my baby step. So I'd love to hear from you, how this is impacting you and how it's helping you. And what baby step did you take, and where are you with your calling? If you'd like to hop on a discovery call with me, I would welcome that. Just look at the bottom of Spotify and you'll see an invitation from me. It says Breakthrough Call with Beth. Just click on that, get on my calendar, and let's have a chat. I'm very curious, what are you being called to? And what might be stopping you? What might be holding you back? Let's look at any kind of energetic walls or boulders or thoughts that might be really holding you back, really preventing you from really moving forward. Let me give you an action step so that you can jump ahead. I would love to do that. All right, thank you so much for your time. It's been a joy and a pleasure being with you today. I'm sending you lots of love, blessings, and gratitude on your path and with your calling. Bye for now. So that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in. I really hope you enjoyed listening to this episode as much as I enjoyed recording it. So any questions, any comments, please feel free to connect with me personally on my website, bethberkins.com. And if you feel guided to, one thing that I do ask is for you to rate the podcast. This way we can reach way more people, and in that way impact more lives, of course. So with that, I'll see you on the next exciting Spirituality and Vision Quest podcast.